Alright, so here we have the fourth and final part of my 100% tutorial. So up to this point in the run, we've finished all of the early game stuff through Industrial Park, and we've done all of the late game stuff that we need the hand enabled for. So now the hand is disabled again, and we're good to finish the rest of the run. So at this point, you should have just finished downtown. So now we're going to be moving on. At this point, the route can deviate a little bit, but for this specifically, I think, like, I like to do most of this backtracking stuff as soon as possible. So, I mean, this is it doesn't overly matter where you do the backtracking, but for this, I just like to do it after downtown. That's just where I put it. And if you're paying for the clam in Graveyard, it's good to do all this backtracking before that, just so you can get like as many shiny objects as possible. Like if you left SBA with like the bare minimum shiny objects, then it's good to do all the backtracking first so you can make up shiny objects that you might need for the clam, which costs 2,700 shiny objects. Alright, so after downtown, we go to Murmelair, and we have to warp 4 times in here, so the order is not really the most important, but yeah, I just like to do it in the order of the menu. So let's unpause the timer. Alright, so for the lobby sock, you want to jump in the box here and then get a cruise boost. If you get a cruise boost and then jump in the box, you have to do a bunch of extra turning around. You go like all the way out here. So yeah, just cruise boost once you enter the box. Now we're going to jump in this tube right here. Keep an eye on where the sock is. Okay. If you miss it, then just bash into the sock, because you can see the shadow on the ground. I should also mention, if you didn't get this box in Murmelair 1, then you're going to have to get a cruise boost here. And then just go get the sock like this. So yeah, obviously this wastes a bunch of time, so just make sure you get the box in Murmelair 1. And we would jump up here, and then, yeah, same thing. So now we're going to get Security Tunnel Sock. Alright. So this level has a cycle. If you miss, no matter whether you do an RCB or a regular cruise boost, okay, that's bad. If that happens, just reload. But yeah. I think you can miss one with an RCB and still make it. But yeah. So back down here again, if you go for a regular cruise boost, you can't miss one and still make that cycle. You have to get it first try, or else you're going to have to be waiting there for the anodes to go by. I guess I have to reload to show that. Alright. And you'll have this guy in your way. So yeah, you want to wait for that first anode to like go completely out of your way. Alternatively, if you don't want to do that strat, or if you like break the Thunder TP and don't make it up or something, you can come over to this clam. The text box disappears automatically when you have a cruise boost, so do not press B to get rid of the text box. You want to come over here and bash slam off the clam. And then just make your way over here. So that's the backup strat / slower strat that you can do. But yeah, once you have the sock, you can go away. On GameCube and PS2, you want to get the sock in here first. And there's a couple places you can cruise boost. Right here is one. Over here is a really easy one, cruise boost right here. You can also do a crabs boost if you really want to, but doesn't save a lot of time. On Xbox, it doesn't matter which order you do the sock or the spatula in, because you're reloading anyway. but I guess I shouldn't have fell off there. Alright, I messed up. Yeah, on GameCube and PS2, grab it like this, and then walk back over here to do ballroom flip. Once you have the spatula and the sock, we're gonna go to prawn. I'm gonna do prawn skip. Alright. No, we should have everything in the normal layer. Yeah, we do. So now go to Sand Mountain and warp to Guppy Mound. Either of these two spatulas. So here, I like to do a spin here to get rid of my downward momentum, just to make that sock a bit easier. Now you want to do Frosty Bungee first. It's faster to do this first. Unlike an NG Plus without Larry Time Challenge, it's faster to do this first. Skip the text box, don't pay the clam. Now for this jump, you want to, I guess I should get rid of my cruise boost. You want to kind of bash sort of around here-ish. Like, you can use these like little sand things on the ground here to kind of align yourself and kind of set it up. But, yeah. I don't think this trick is too hard, personally. Pretty easy stuff. Now we're gonna go over to slope 3. Alright, I'm not going over Larry Time Challenge skip in this tutorial because it only saves 30 seconds and it's a really hard trick that I don't recommend to everybody, so... obviously, if you were doing Larry Time Challenge skip, you'd want to accept the prompt as soon as you enter the level and then go down and do it. And then after you get the spatulas from Larry Time Challenge skip, you would switch to Sandy and then go down the slide for the socks. So that's what you would do if you do that. If you're not doing Larry Time Challenge skip, just get a cruise boost over here. Get it on the box. Do not get it on Larry, because then you're gonna have to wait longer for Larry's text to come back. And now spam R. Because you want to activate the bus stop, and then as soon as the bus is gone from the screen, spam A to accept the prompt. So now we are Sandy and we have the time challenge, which is what we want. So now go down the slide, follow the path that I take. So some important things to keep in mind when you're sliding as Sandy is that your angle when you jump as Sandy is really important on slides. Because it's really hard to turn when you're Sandy and you have slide momentum, so keep that in mind a lot on this slide. It's really important. Also, try your best to not lose speed on this slide. Also, that's the strat that I do for this sock. It's pretty easy, so I recommend it. And it only loses like a second to the strat that Shift does, so let's do that. Be really careful with this jump. Jump around the missile, play it safe. And then land on this bottom part. When you land down here, if you have a minute and 22 seconds or so, that's like as good as it can get. If you have a minute and 17 or more, that's what you want. Anything less than that, you're really pushing it for the time challenge. So it's really important to keep your movement good and just make sure you're not losing your slide momentum and your speed. So yeah, play it smart, just do a path that you're comfortable with, and all that. There's a lot that can go wrong in this song. Do the little lasso thing I just did there to get the sock and turn around quickly. Try to like hug the inside if you can, but like don't fall off. That's the #1 rule in Sand Mountain, don't fall off. Go under here, this faster. Take the path that I'm taking down here. Because if you don't take this path, then you're going to be losing time. And if you take a really wrong path, then you might not make the time challenge. So I'm taking like the optimal path down here. So just do this. There's a little jump you can do here that's pretty easy. This one. If you don't do it, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're strapped for time to make the time challenge, then you might have to go for it. I've seen Cullen do a strat here where you let go of your analog stick when you hit the ice and you keep your slide momentum, but that's really risky. Because if you don't make it far enough and you like fall down, like if here's the ice up here and you fall, then you have to like redo the whole slide to get the spatula at the bottom. Like you get the time challenge completed and you're going to get the spatula from Larry. But you have to go all the way back down here to get the spatula if you fall there. So I don't recommend doing that. And yeah, if you did the slide as Sandy, reload the level. If you did it as SpongeBob, obviously go take the box to get the spatula. There's a strat you can do here where you get a cruise boost and then like drift towards the door while getting the spatula, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. Also, if you fall down at any point, I should say, if you have the ice pillar sock and you fall down, you can go down the slide of SpongeBob if you don't feel like doing Larry Time Challenge. And if you have to do that, do it without a cruise boost. Because I'll show you what happens if you do have a cruise boost. If you do have a cruise boost, then you're not going to have a fun time. And you won't even make the time challenge, so you can't even do it with a cruise boost. So yeah, this is the backup path you can take. Obviously you wouldn't have a cruise boost, so don't do that. Just play it safe on the slide if you have to. Also, I should mention, with these like platforms, like the orange stuff, with the orange stuff on them that I was just going across, stay towards the edge, because if you're in like the middle here, you can get your momentum taken away from you for no reason in the middle of the platform. So stay like along the edges if you like, as much as you can, because you're gonna keep your momentum a lot easier if you do that. But yeah, so that's what happens if you have a cruise boost and you try going down the slide. So yeah, go down the slide without a cruise boost and take the trampoline if you have to go down as SpongeBob again. But yeah, once you get to the bottom, it's pretty tricky to get a cruise boost off the checkpoint down there, but you can do that. Just be careful to chuck if you have to be down there as SpongeBob. There's not a whole lot else to mention. But yeah, this is one area you're gonna need to make sure you have the strats down for. To make sure that you're not spending minutes in Sand Mountain. Like minutes more than you have to, I should say. Yeah, once you're done with everything in there, exit there, get a cruise boost, and we're gonna jump down here. Alright, I'm not going over Sandman 1 cycle in this tutorial. Sandman 1 cycle saves a minute or a little less than a minute, but I'm really bad at it. And I don't really recommend it unless you're going for a pretty good time, because for the most part it's pretty easy, but the sock on the pipe at the end of the slide is really hard to get, and it loses a lot of time if you miss it. So just, I would recommend just doing 2 cycle for now. I'm going to show the optimal path for 2 cycle. So a thing I didn't really mention up to this point is that when you have a cruise boost on slides, the important thing to keep in mind is that you move faster when you're in the air and you have slide momentum. So if you see here on Flounder Hill, I'm jumping as much as I can, which is because you move faster while doing it. Also, this jump's kind of hard. You want to jump before reaching the edge there to make that jump. If you can't do that jump, I'll show you the backup strat. But if you jump like as you're sliding off the ledge, like you would think you would have to do, like, because of every other jump in this game, like that's just how jump spacing works. But if you do that, you get like flung off to the right side. But even if that happens, I'd still recommend going for it, because you'll more than likely still end up on the slide, just as long as you don't miss that sand when it's on that slope. Also, do not miss this one. You have 2 chances to get that sandman, but just get it on the first try. That was a little sketchy, but I don't care. So my recommendation if you're doing 2 cycle is get the pipe sock first. I'll explain why afterwards. That was really risky what I just did there. Normally I just opt to get rid of my cruise boost and get hit by the thunder teepees. But yeah, obviously you can keep your cruise boost and it's pretty fast. So yeah. I'll show you where you can cruise boost if you lose your cruise boost towards the end there. But yeah, important thing to mention is just do not fall off going for the pipe sock, and do not miss the pipe sock. Like, take the L and get hit by the thunder teepees if you have to, but do not miss that cell. But yeah, once you get down here, getting rid of your cruise boost before going into this box is a safe strat, but I really don't recommend doing it. Just jump in the box and press B as soon as you can, and you won't fall off. It's pretty easy. Alright. Also make sure, like, I got this sandman before I went down the first time. If you didn't get it, make sure you get it on the second pass. Yeah. Also, you don't have to do the second trip down with the cruise boost if you don't have to, but obviously it's faster to do it. Like, you can bowl onto the slide if you want and get rid of your cruise boost and still get a bunch of speed, but obviously it's not going to be as fast. So get the sandman and turn around. Do not fall off here. It's like really bad if you fall off here. It's really important to keep your jump spacing in mind and know how far your jumps are going to go. Because falling off is really tragic in here and can lose you minutes in certain spots. Right here on the slide, there's a backup to get back on, but it's not like that in most other spots in slide. Alright, so now here, we're going to jump down and get these 2 sandmen. And pay attention to my movement here. You want to try your best to avoid those thunder teepees. So, after the last sandman, there's 3 couples of thunder teepees. If you get hit by one of them, you must avoid the next one. Because if you don't, you're going to get your momentum screwed over and you can fall off the slide really easily doing that. So, keep that in mind. You want to try your best to avoid the thunder teepees while still staying on the slide. Like, that's really important. If you can't do the strat that I just did, just get hit by the first couple of thunder teepees and then skip the second and third ones. It's really important that if you get hit by one set, you don't get hit by the other ones. Yeah, if you keep your cruise boost here, you can just make this jump right here. And just get the sock. So, the reason why I said get the pipe sock on your first trip down and the Sandman on your second trip down is once you have all 8 Sandmen, you can fall off the slide and there's a backup strat. But if you get the pipe, if you leave the pipe sock for last, you have to get it on the second trip down. So if you fall off, you're just screwed and there's nothing you can do. So get those Sandmen by the couples of Thunder Tikis last. If you're doing 2-trip. Yeah. On the first trip down, if you lose your cruise boost, just get one right here. Try not to get hit by the robots. Alright, this guy's being annoying. That's a pretty good spot to get cruise boost. You can get one right here as well on the checkpoint. Don't get hit by the exploding guys. But yeah. If you die here, you should have the checkpoint anyway. And then yeah, you would just come up and alright, so now the backup strat, if you fall off after getting all the Sandmen, like this is only good if you get all the Sandmen, is you can jump in the box here and then just bash over the gate and the sock is there. So if you've hit all the Sandmen and you fall off the slide and have to reload, just do that and get the sock. It wastes some time, but it's better than having to redo the entire slide. Alright, so now we have everything in Sand Mountain. And now we're gonna head down to Squidward's Dream. Okay, so I'm gonna show off a couple different ways to do the sock cycle. I'm gonna show like the really safe strat first. I can't cruise boost. Alright, so here is the safe strat for the sock. The one that doesn't do the dumb turnaround on this trumpet right here. Which isn't even that dumb, but some people aren't good at it. So here's the easy way of getting the sock. Is you just get the sock and then make your way back over here. Alright, now I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to try and show off my hands while I do the sock cycle. Alright, so I guess this is a good spot for my hands. Actually, I'm going to show this cycle if you get a cruise boost first try. Alright. So that's the sock cycle. So if you saw there, if you saw what I was, I guess I shouldn't have moved the thing. If you saw what I was doing here, where I brought my pointer finger up onto the buttons to move around, I do clawing for some things in this game, and it's a bit easier for me. Like turning around on that trumpet is a really good example. Because you have to be turning your camera and turning SpongeBob at the same time. And as you can see, it's pretty hard to do while you're jumping as well. So I just like to do it with clawing and pressing the A button with my pointer finger. Like, obviously, if you're not used to that, then don't do it. It's just something to keep in mind. Like, if you're learning the cycle and like you call for like other games or something, like it's a pretty good thing that I do. It's pretty easy, so just it's an option for a way to do that strat. So yeah, that's Squid Stream. So yeah, if you can't do the fast sock cycle, then just do the backup strat that I did, and it's pretty easy. But yeah, after we have the spatula and the sock, we're gonna head over to Patrick's stream and walk out to go to Crab's stream. So yeah, this is the part where I said the oil guy might mess with you. So there's a couple spots around here where you can cruise boost. Let's see, right here on the rock is a pretty good spot. I used to use this spot. Right here on the checkpoint is another good spot. On this box is a good spot, but you're pretty close to the oil bot. Another strat you can do, because, I mean, it's pretty fast to have a cruise boost here. You can go to this box. You can, like, if you got the box on the other side in Dream 1, in the beginning of the game, then you can cruise boost here and just jump in the box. And then, yeah, you're good. There's also another strat you can do if you don't want to get a cruise boost at all. It's pretty similar to Forbidden Skip. We're just going to kind of do this. Or we're going to miss it. I've never done this strat. But yeah, there is another way to do this if you don't feel like getting a cruise boost here. Not that. Don't do that. There you go. It's pretty similar to Forbidden Skip, but honestly, it's pretty easy now that I've just done it. But yeah, there's a couple ways to get over here, but the point is you want to get to Crab's stream from Patrick's stream. That's the fastest way to do it. Press B on this text box. Like, you can spam A through the text box, but it's slower. Alright, so there's some stuff you can do here with like timing your cruise bubbles to not have to reload the level, but honestly reloading the level is free and only wastes a couple seconds. Just make sure you don't jump at the start though, because that's going to remove all your invincibility frames, and reloading the level would have been pointless, so just don't jump and you're fine. Also, try to manually detonate your cruise bubbles here, because they can clip through the duplicators and it's really annoying. Yeah, this is a basic fighting section. Just try not to die here. So you want to try to end up in this back corner at the end because there's a sock down here. And then reload the level once you get the sock. If you forgot to get the sock and you just reload it anyway, you can get a cruise boost off Squidward to go over there, but you're gonna get shot at by the oil bots, so it's not really worth it. Like, I would just walk back, honestly. Yeah, now we're done with Dream, so we're gonna head down, warp to Mr. Krabs. Now is Kelp Forest. Okay, so I should mention, if you... So, I mentioned in part 1, if you can't get the top of the chum bucket spatula by doing rollbuck, then there is a backup strat you can do to get the spatula in late game. So you can get a cruise boost there and just come up here. Don't do that. That's not how you're supposed to do it. You can double jump over and just get on top of the button like that, but I have a hard time doing that, so I just bash and slam. But whatever works for you. So you want to get on the buttons and maneuver your way on top here. So if you didn't get the spatula, that's how you would want to do it. And then you can keep your cruise boost and skip the taxi animation like that. Well, not like that. You would want to actually get the cutscene skip, but... yeah. obviously, if you already got that spatula, you don't need to worry about any of that, so.
Here we are.
Alright, time for Kelpwoods. Alright. Off to a fantastic start. That's another spot where I claw for that trick with the leaf right there. You don't really have to do that if you're not used to it. If you don't want to do the leaf strat, just come up here, do it like this. So you want to touch this sandy part right here. It's like sand area because it's going to spawn the leaf down here to let you back up later. So yeah, once you're here, we're aiming for that button you can see off to the right on that little platform. You want to like slam on the button to hit the button because it's really hard to hit it without like aiming for it, like slamming as you're approaching it. So do something similar to that. I like to wait around there, not as long as I just did, but I like to wait around there for like half a second to wait for the leaves to go up. This is pretty standard platforming, you just gotta get used to it. If you fall down on the way to the sock, there's not really a whole lot of a backup. You kind of just have to go back over to the button and do it again. But if you fall over here, you can kind of go around the backside and back it up like this. Not like that. I know there's a backup way to do this. There's some way to do this. I know there is. I forgot how to do this, but... yeah, I forgot how to do this. I used to be good at this backup. Okay, that's it. So, yeah, you kind of want to like bash up this way as the backup strat, and you can end up here. But obviously, you just want to try to make the jump from the sock all the way over the camper. Talk to Puff. Really important that you talk to Puff because we need that work. So come over here. This is kind of a new strat, so pay attention kind of to how I do it. You want to like space the height of your double jumps to like get on top of your TPs there. The rest of this is pretty simple platforming. Get the sock. Aim your camera down the whole time, unlike what I did, so you actually know where the sock is. Once you get the spatula, reload to the first spatula. Don't do that. Yeah, kelp vines is pretty simple. Just do kelp vines how you normally do it. Actually jump in the box. This time you want to like turn your camera more this way if you do it with cruise boost, because you want to end up close to the box here, because we need to get the sock on the kelp vines. So jump down right here, pay attention to the path I'm taking, because it's kind of easy to get lost in kelp vines. For the first two trampolines, just do single jumps to get to them. And try to keep your momentum, unlike what I did. There you would do a single jump if you had your momentum. Alright, now here, go to the left and do a full double jump. Here, go to the left, go like straight ahead as well. Or I guess the left, but it's like straight. Once you get the sock, reload back to kelp vines. And we're going to caves. So I have individual tutorials on my YouTube channel for caves, if you're interested. So yeah, I'm gonna go over like some basic stuff.
Hey.
On every console, you want to like walk straight ahead here first to go in through this gate, because it saves some walking distance if you do this first. If you can't cruise boost on this rock right here, like I've been saying it a bunch throughout, I said it a couple times throughout the run, but you don't need to do like some of these RCDs that I'm doing. I'm just been kind of doing what I'm comfortable with, but you can do it off this box here if you're not comfortable with that. Or you can just like walk forward and get a cruise boost here on this rock. But yeah, come over here and bash twice. You can bash there, or I actually did the wrong thing. You want to double jump up here. On GameCube and PS2, you want to turn around and come back through this way. And on GameCube and PS2, make sure that you hit the jellyfish here on your way to the pressure plate. If you didn't hit the jellyfish, he's going to hit you on your way back and you're going to lose your cruise boost. So, yeah. On GameCube and PS2, jump up here and bash. But on Xbox, you just want to reload through the kelp caves after you get the 2 crystals. Cruise boost right here. You can also cruise boost like here on this gate if you want. Or you can like walk forward and do it on the box. Whatever works for you. So you want to get up here, get the sock. Okay. So there are backup strats if you don't want to do this vine climb. But I do it because I've grinded it out and I know how to do it. I would advise against doing camper skip because it only saves time if you ledge grab back into the map. And that's really hard to do, and only shift goes for that. So, in my opinion, just don't even go for camper skip if you're not going for that hard strat. Yeah. Hit the button with a cruise bubble, get a cruise boost right here. Double jump up here. Obviously, if you did camper skip, you can bash up to this crystal to save a little bit of time, but if you don't do that, then you just want to like double jump up there. Because you can turn around in the middle of your double jump, and it's a lot harder to turn around when you're bashing like that. So here's the like safer way to do this, is to climb up this way to get this crystal. Another way of doing it is to do it like this. Okay, you're supposed to skip the ledge grab, but I'm not great at that strat. And you're supposed to actually get up there. So yeah, that saves a few seconds if you want to do that, but it's not really necessary. Alright, now jump back over here. You want to get stuck up here, L clip out, aim your camera down so you get stuck on this leaf thing. You can get rid of your cruise boost right here if you want to, but it's not necessary. You just want to go under here and get the last crystal, and then reload. And that's crystals. Like I said, I have tutorials on my channel for different skill levels for crystals if you're looking for more detail on that, but yeah. So this is pretty standard stuff, except here you want to drown. And you're going to appear back up here. So get a cruise boost off the bridge right here. I like to RCB it, but yeah. them down. Alright, so now you want to jump straight forward here to this little island. Pay attention to the leaves that I bounce off of. Get the sock. Now here, the goal is to bounce off this gate and hit the sleepy time from above, and then get the camper. If you miss that strat and end up like behind the clam right here, just bash and then hit the robot. If you end up like down here and didn't kill him, just keep spinning him. Time a spin when his invincibility runs out, so you don't lose your cruise boost. And then go get the camper. If you lose your cruise boost, there's a couple spots you can get it back around here. That's one of them. There's another one. On this wall, I'm sure there's spots where you can do it. But yeah. Come up here. Use this leaf to come over here by the G-Love and get a sock. And then follow the leaves in here towards the last camper. And once you get them, work back to find all the last campers. Let's get the spatula from Puff, and then we're gonna walk over and get the last sock. So with this sock, so these shush tikis right here are checking for you hitting the last one and the first one with the same bubble bowl, or like within a certain time window, I think it is. So yeah, I'm pressing B and nothing's happening here. So yeah, just kind of hit all those tikis in a row and get the sock, and then go down and warp to Mr. Krabs. Yeah, you can cruise boost on the way to Graveyard Break if you want. It's not necessary, but you can skip this cutscene if you want. If you do the cruise boost. Alright, now here, ideally you want to get a cruise boost off this pole. I'm really bad at it, but there it is. I'm going to show the fast strat and the slow strat for this sock. So, remember how earlier in the tutorial I said if you hold down the A button when you slam, you get more height when you pop off stuff? Like, that's really important to keep in mind. When you bounce off that pole that I just bounced off of, you want to be doing that. Because otherwise you won't get enough height to get up here. So that's one way of getting that sock. Another way of getting the sock is to do it like this. Not like that. And do this over here with the sock. So hit this tombstone, and then bash off of that wood tiki right there to get up on top of the tombstone. And then you can just jump across to get the sock. That's a pretty fast way of doing that sock. That's easier, but it's not as fast as the first one. Wow. Never done that before. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be paying the clam for the cage. If you want to do GCLC, you can. It saves like 20 seconds to do that. But I'm not good at it, and we have the shiny Suspender anyway. Well, that's not good, actually. You don't really want to drown here, because it's technically faster to drown here, but you have to get another pole boost. So yeah, if you drown there, this is what you would do to get over the clam. But I'm gonna just redo it, because I want to show you like what you would do. That's really unfortunate. So yeah, ideally you want to like live here. So you would go up this way. And now instead, you want to go like along the wall here to the right. My voice is giving out. That's really cool. So you want to get like stuck on this clam, so you're not gonna fall off and drown. So once you're stuck on the clam and you're not gonna fall off. Sometimes that just happens. I don't get why. But yeah, you want to try to live and pay the clam. So you would be like here. Now hit this button. And then just jump across here and get the special. So if you were doing GCLC, you would just do graveyard like normal, but if you don't want to do it, then this is the strat you would use instead. Just climb these rocks over here. You can climb like the other rocks, but that was faster. So just do that. To be honest. Now the rest of Graveyard is pretty standard, for the most part. You can get the sock without a cruise boost, but yeah. If you're fast, you can get a cruise boost there. If you don't want to, that's fine. Doesn't save a whole ton of time, but it saves a decent amount to cruise boost there. And then yeah, just do wall jumps however you normally do them. I like to RCB that, but you don't have to. Alright, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna try that again. Alright, screw that. We're not doing that. If you get rid of your cruise boost here, if you have to get rid of your cruise boost here, whatever, just get the cutscene and then get the specials. It's faster to do it like that if you don't have a cruise boost. And now up here, after getting the spatula, we have to get the sock in this area. So the fastest way to do this is to get a cruise boost and then jump on top of the swingers. But that saves like only 4 seconds and it's pretty risky. So what I just do instead is I just go down and do it the normal way. And not die. Just don't die on your way over here. Optimal menuing. And then Dutchman skip is the same as normal. If you do GCLC, of course, you want to bowl away your cruise boost before getting the spatula. This is the way I do Dutchman skip. And that bounce, I was a little too low, so that's why I got the bounce, but at least I didn't fall off. So now we should have 92 spatulas and all 60 if the remaining sucks. So let's go to Patrick and finish up the run. The rest of this is pretty standard to what we do in most every other run. On PB Pace, this is where I usually like to just get a drink and chill out. Optimal menuing.
They serve food here, yes, but they don't serve love.
And here we are, folks, the main event. A gauntlet of ever-increasing ferocity. The robot better change tactics and fast.
Alright, and the rest of this is pretty standard.
Will SpongeBob be able
I
to
get this saving
neutralize the
screen
giant
comes up.
robot's
I think it
brain?
does that after all the bosses.
Great Barrier Reef.
Or like the main bosses. Robo Sandy, Robo Patrick, Robo SpongeBob.
Say hello to my little bubble friend.
And of course, time is when you hit the final fuse and you have all 100 spatulas in the game. Alright, so that is 100%. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I hope this helps some people out who are interested in learning the category. I chose to do it with the route that I use in my runs because, in my opinion, if you've been running any percent for a decent amount of time, it's not that hard to get into this. Besides like some of the harder 100% exclusive strats, like it's not too bad. Some of the early game stuff, which is like the main turnoff from doing this route, in my opinion, is like all the stuff in early game that you have to deal with, but. Yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty fun category once you get a run going. So it has a lot of potential still, in my opinion. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions about the route, you can message me on Discord or you can comment on the video. I'm more than happy to answer questions. You can also message the BFBB Discord if you have help with specific things. I'm gonna link the links to the Discord and my spreadsheet with my 100% routes on it in case you're interested. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope this tutorial was helpful.